Ladies and gentlemen, when you have been trapped in the world of a narcissist, there is a reality that takes time to truly understand, and it is far more unsettling than simple manipulation. Their hatred does not stop at control or dominance in everyday moments. In the hidden parts of their inner world, control slowly turns into obsession, and obsession shifts into something much more dangerous. They do not only want you obedient or emotionally dependent, they want you erased, invalidated, broken down, and stripped of your identity until there is almost nothing left. This urge is often concealed behind charm, intelligence, and a carefully managed, calm exterior. By the time it becomes clear, the damage is already severe because narcissistic destruction is silent, patient, and deliberate. When a narcissist wants to destroy you, the earliest signs rarely show up as obvious actions. Instead, they appear first inside the private theater of the narcissist's mind. Within their thoughts, they replay disturbing scenes where you lose everything that makes you who you are. Your confidence falls apart, your reputation is damaged, your happiness fades away. These are not brief flashes of anger or harmless thoughts. They are repeated mental rehearsals fueled by resentment, envy, and wounded pride. The narcissist does not simply want to win an argument or feel superior for a moment. They want complete domination. They imagine a world where you are powerless and they are elevated above you. In those inner scenes, your pain becomes their victory, their proof that they are superior. If you watch closely, small pieces of this inner world slip out in subtle and uncomfortable ways. It might be a quick smile when you fail, or a strange calm when something painful happens in your life. It can appear in jokes that cut deeper than expected, comments that stay with you long after they are said, or moments where your distress seems to give them energy. These reactions are not random. They are windows into a mindset that feeds on your suffering. Where most people would feel concern or empathy, the narcissist feels pleasure. Your pain reassures them that they still matter, still dominate, still exist above the emptiness they carry inside. At the center of this behavior is an intense hunger for power. A narcissist does not feed on love or connection. They feed on dominance. When you cry, struggle, or doubt yourself, they see it as proof that they are in control. Your vulnerability becomes evidence that they are winning. Instead of compassion, they feel satisfaction. Instead of guilt, they feel justified. This is why trying to appeal to their humanity never works. Your suffering is not a problem for them. It is a resource. It fills the emptiness they refuse to face within themselves, an emptiness built from insecurity, shame, and deep self-hatred. Once they taste the effect of that control, it becomes addictive. The idea of silencing you, shrinking you, or watching you emotionally fade becomes something they secretly desire. They will never say this openly. Instead, it leaks out through sarcastic comments, subtle threats, and quiet predictions of your failure. Statements like, "You'd be nothing without me," or "You'll regret this someday," are not just arrogance. They reflect a darker fantasy where your independence terrifies them. Beneath those words is a wish for your collapse, because your strength reminds them that they do not own you. And here is the most dangerous truth. Fantasies do not stay harmless forever. The more a narcissist imagines your downfall, the more they want to see it happen in real life. This is why many survivors describe a chilling sense that their abuser was waiting for them to break. That feeling is not imagination, it is intuition. You can feel it in the silence when you struggle, in the disappointment when you recover, and in the strange calm when tragedy touches your life. These moments are not coincidences. They are warning signs that someone does not just resent you, but wants to see you destroyed. They are glimpses into a disturbed mind that has been rehearsing your collapse long before you recognize the threat. When clarity finally cuts through the fog, you realize how frightening those quiet fantasies really are. Before a narcissist ever focuses on physical harm, they target something far more personal and cruel: your identity. This process is never rushed. It is slow, calculated, and intentional. They break you down piece by piece, memory by memory, belief by belief, until the person you once knew feels distant and unfamiliar. This is their true skill, destroying your spirit while keeping your body present, leaving you empty but alive. It begins so subtly that you hardly notice. They question your choices, your instincts, and your dreams, often disguising their words as concern or advice. At first, it feels supportive. Soon, it turns into constant doubt. Are you sure that makes sense? I don't think you can really handle that. No one understands you the way I do. These comments slowly sink into your mind like poison. Over time, their voice becomes louder than your own. You pause before speaking, question your thoughts, and feel embarrassed about your goals. This is their first win. When your inner voice weakens, their control begins. After doubt takes root, isolation follows. They start cutting off your connections one by one, carefully and deliberately. Friends are labeled as bad influences. Family members are described as jealous or controlling. Anyone who offers you perspective becomes a threat. Gradually, you find yourself alone, without outside support, left with only the narcissist as your guide. When their voice is the only one you hear, their version of reality replaces yours. They decide who you are, what you deserve, and what you are allowed to want. Slowly, you stop existing as your own person and become something shaped to meet their needs. This is not love, it is psychological destruction. Once you are isolated, they go after your passions, the things that once gave you joy and meaning. Your hobbies are mocked, your successes are downplayed, the work you were proud of is dismissed as ordinary. Your dreams become jokes. Each comment, each laugh at your expense weakens your sense of purpose. What they are really doing is tearing apart your identity. If they can destroy what makes you unique, they can empty you. And when you are empty, you are easier to control, easier to abandon, and easier to erase. This loss of identity is the first stage of death in their twisted story. After they hollow you out emotionally, the step toward wanting you gone completely becomes frighteningly small. They have already tested your limits. They know how much pain you can take, how much of your spirit they can crush without resistance. Every success strengthens their sense of power. At that point, you are no longer just someone they dislike. You are someone they have already killed on the inside. Your body is still there, but your confidence, passion, and will have been carefully extinguished. What makes this even more disturbing is how hard it is to see while it is happening. One day, you wake up and barely recognize yourself. You question every decision. You feel unworthy of love, incapable of standing alone, and afraid of life without them. You start believing you are nothing on your own. That belief did not happen by chance. It is the result they planned from the very beginning. They want you lifeless in spirit long before they destroy your future, your stability, or your sense of self completely. Many survivors describe this experience as feeling dead inside, and that description is painfully accurate. That emotional numbness is exactly what the narcissist wants: to erase your soul before ever thinking about erasing your physical presence. When a narcissist decides to destroy you, control becomes an obsession. This goes far beyond influence. It turns into total domination. They want control over your thoughts, your actions, and even your emotions. They watch your life closely, treating it as something that belongs to them, not to you. Every choice you make is examined, every move is questioned. They cannot accept the idea of you living outside their control. Calls, messages, and simple plans become threats in their mind. The more you try to reclaim your independence, the more aggressive they become. This control often pretends to be care. Who were you talking to? Where are you going? Why did you say that? These are not innocent questions. They are tools for monitoring, predicting, and planning their next step. They remember details about your habits, your fears, and your relationships, storing them for later use. Every independent action is met with guilt, suspicion, or anger. What makes this so dangerous is how slowly it grows. It starts with small comments and soft suggestions. Maybe that's not a good idea. I don't think that person really supports you. Over time, those suggestions turn into rules, and those rules turn into invisible walls. You always mess things up. At first, it sounds like frustration or concern, but slowly it becomes a constant message that you are incapable, dependent, and small. And by the time you realize what has happened, the cage is already built around you. It slowly hardens into constant control. They begin deciding who you are allowed to meet, where you can go, and what you are permitted to say. Your ability to trust your own judgment wears down under this pressure, and pushing back starts to feel draining. You tell yourself it is easier to agree, easier to stay silent than to argue or explain. But each time you surrender, they pull the chains tighter. Giving in never satisfies them. They are not searching for balance or calm. They want dominance, complete and unquestioned, where your own will fades away. When a narcissist senses they are losing their grip, when they notice there is still strength inside you, still a part of you they cannot fully control, something dark changes within them. You are no longer just someone to manage or influence. You become a danger, and in their world, anything seen as a danger must be destroyed. If they cannot fully bend you, they become focused on breaking you instead. Their need for control shifts into an obsession with your disappearance. Your independence becomes unbearable to them. The idea that you could survive, grow, or exist outside their authority feels like a personal insult they cannot accept. What makes this so unsettling is how personal it is. This is not careless cruelty or distant hatred. It is close, intentional, and calculated. You are not simply stuck in a difficult situation. You are being controlled by someone who views your life as an extension of their own power. They watch your habits, interfere with circumstances, and push boundaries over and over. Every response you give becomes information. They collect reactions, emotions, and moments of weakness. They search for emotional cracks, exhaustion, fear, or doubt, anything they can use to fully crush your independence and remind you that freedom is not allowed. Every attempt you make to take your power back only causes them to react harder. They return colder, sharper, and more planned. To them, your independence looks like rebellion. Your freedom feels like disrespect. This pressure wears you down. It leaves you tired, mentally foggy, and alone. You start questioning your instincts, doubting your thoughts, and fearing what will happen if you act on your own. While you are trying to stay grounded and sane, the narcissist is already thinking ahead, imagining a future where they no longer need to control you because you are either completely broken or entirely removed. Over time, their need for control turns into a desire for destruction. Control was never just about influence for them. It was about ownership, possession, and domination. And when that ownership starts slipping away, the wish to see you gone replaces it. This is when their behavior changes. One of the most dangerous signs of this shift is how quietly they begin to damage your reputation. They do not attack you openly, Instead, they work silently, using rumors, distortions, and planned lies to slowly destroy how others see you. This is character assassination, a quiet war meant to make you look unstable, dishonest, or unsafe without ever appearing aggressive. To everyone else, life looks normal. To you, it feels like reality is falling apart. While you struggle to stay calm and dignified, they are secretly rewriting your story. Smear campaigns become their favorite weapon. They start small, twisting facts just enough to sound reasonable. Lies are wrapped in concern, and they place themselves as the confused or wounded victim. They tell friends and relatives partial truths that create doubt about your character. They share edited stories that make you seem emotional, difficult, or unreliable. At work, they quietly question your competence or emotional stability. Slowly, people who once stood by you begin to pull away, not out of hatred, but uncertainty. Confusion replaces trust. Isolation tightens again, but this time not through force. It happens through doubt. And in that isolation, the narcissist watches closely, satisfied, knowing they are closer to erasing you. These lies are hard to fight because they are mixed with bits of truth timed around your emotional reactions and built on your normal human flaws. By the time you understand what is happening, much of the damage has already been done. People behave differently. The air around you feels heavier. Friends act distant. Coworkers avoid you. Family members hesitate instead of trusting you. You feel judged but cannot trace where it started. That is when the narcissist feels pleasure. They watch you doubt your worth, your sanity, and your value, knowing their quiet work is succeeding. This method is dangerous because it strikes before you can defend yourself. You feel the change before you can explain it. Conversations become brief, invitations stop, support fades without any clear reason. Your social life, once a place of safety, turns into a battlefield you never chose. And the narcissist does not need to yell or threaten. They step back and let suspicion do the damage. Your isolation is not accidental. It is carefully designed. Every broken relationship becomes proof to them that their control is growing. They take satisfaction in watching you shrink under the pressure. They enjoy seeing you confused, alone, and unsure of where you belong. They do not need to touch you to harm you. They turn your surroundings into a weapon. By shaping how others see you, they slowly reduce your world. Your circle becomes smaller. Your confidence weakens. Your sense of belonging disappears. At this stage, when silence and doubt surround you, they have already practiced your erasure. You still exist, but you are no longer truly seen. That invisibility is their victory. You begin living like a shadow of who you were, questioning every word, every choice, every feeling. You no longer know what is real or who is safe. That confusion is not accidental. It is the goal. Every rumor, every half-truth, every planted doubt becomes another wall around you. Their aim is not just to cause pain. It is to make sure no one believes you, no one protects you, and no one remembers your worth. When that happens, they can calmly watch as you struggle alone in a world they quietly poisoned. That is why noticing early signs matters so much. Strange comments from friends, sudden distance from coworkers, a change in how people speak to you. These are not coincidences. They are signs that manipulation is already happening. A narcissist planning destruction always leaves traces behind. Even if you cannot see the full picture yet, their cruelty goes deeper than control. It is fueled by the pleasure they feel when you suffer. They do not only want power, they want to feel alive through your pain, energized by your fear, validated by your breakdown. Your sadness entertains them, your anxiety feeds them, your collapse feels like a quiet win. They may hide behind kindness, concern, or sympathetic words, but behind the mask is satisfaction. They count every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you feel lost. They do not rush to help you. They observe. They pretend to care while secretly feeding on your pain. Each moment you weaken strengthens their sense of importance. Your suffering becomes proof that they matter. In the beginning, the cruelty seems small. A cutting comment, a joke with a sharp edge, an insult hidden inside advice. But these moments add up. Each one chips away at your confidence, your clarity, your self-trust. Over time, you start believing the story they tell about you. Doubt settles so deeply that you question your own value. And the moment they see uncertainty in your eyes, they know they are winning. That fragility is exactly what they seek. Dependence, vulnerability, the belief that peace only exists when they allow it. This pattern does not stop. It grows stronger. They escalate. They invent new ways to provoke, confuse, and destabilize you. Your reactions turn into their game. Every tear, every attempt to explain yourself, every moment you lose emotional control feels like a victory to them. They do not respect your strength. They see it as something that must be destroyed. Every act of courage threatens their power, so they respond with more cruelty. Your pain becomes their focus. Your collapse becomes their goal. What makes this truly dangerous is how normal it looks to everyone else. To the outside world, the narcissist appears charming, generous, even caring. People see patience and kindness. Meanwhile, you look emotional, distant, or unstable. That contrast is intentional. They create two versions of reality, one clean and public, one dark and private. You live in the nightmare while they wear innocence as protection. Over time, they even cause you to doubt your own perception. Maybe you are overreacting. Maybe you misunderstood. That uncertainty is exactly what they want. The less you trust your own mind, the easier you are to control. When you stop believing yourself, you start relying on them. That dependence feeds their ego and strengthens their sense of superiority. But their desire does not stop with control. It moves into something much darker. A fantasy where you do not just obey, but disappear emotionally, mentally, and socially. A future where your voice no longer matters and your presence no longer exists. And the more you try to hold on to yourself, the more threatened they feel. That is why awareness is not just helpful, it is survival.